Hi folks, I'm Steve Hindy for Showing Animals Respect and Kindness. It's April 2020, so let's talk about human disease. No, I'm not talking about pigeon shooters, cockfighters, or cult members of Joe Exotic, although they all qualify as diseases. I'm talking about COVID-19, which has been a terrible challenge for the human race worldwide. We've lost loved ones. Many businesses are on the brink of collapse and may never come back. As a species, we've paid a price, and our world has changed, possibly forever. The price exacted by COVID-19 has already been very high and will go higher still. There are valuable lessons to be learned from this experience, however, so if we want to minimize the toll of COVID-19, we should not ignore what is before us. For those paying attention, COVID-19 has demonstrated that humans are their own worst enemy. COVID-19 is believed to have started in the wet markets of China. China's wet markets are a magnet for disease, as domesticated animals and wildlife from different parts of the world are mixed and slaughtered on the same spot. This intermixing of animals and their body parts and the attendant germs and viruses happen in a way that would never occur in nature, and that can be disastrous. One government study summarized it this way.
In Chinese wet markets, unique epicenters for transmission of potential viral pathogens, new genes may be acquired or existing genes modified through various mechanisms such as genetic reassortment, recombination, and mutation. The wet markets, at closer proximity to humans, with high viral burden or strains of higher transmission efficiency, facilitate transmission of the viruses to humans.
China's wet markets and similar operations anywhere else in the world should end. That said, the next pandemic could just as easily begin in the United States or any other place where the factory farm industry completely disregards issues of animal cruelty, pollution, and the enormous potential of breeding and spreading disease in an environment of packing animals in such confined spaces. In Monterey County, California, and other places, cockfighters move their birds around carelessly and risk the spread of disease. Monterey County actually passed a law to stop illegal rooster farms, but corruption has prevented the law from being enforced. How stupid is that? So public health is being threatened so that animal-abusing criminals can attach blades and spikes to animals to get their kicks by making those animals fight to the death. Or maybe the next pandemic could start in the canned hunting operations, where animals are again packed together before they're slaughtered for fun. It is commonly believed that chronic wasting disease in deer began not in nature, but in a herd of captive deer. But in spite of what has happened and legitimate concern for the future, the news isn't all bad. COVID-19 lockdowns have held human activity to a minimum. As a direct result, our air and water is improving. Noise levels are down. Light pollution is down. And that is even visible from space. The Earth is literally vibrating less. There is a resurgence of wildlife. While COVID has been devastating to humans, the rest of the planet has been able to breathe a temporary sigh of relief. In the interest of not having to repeat the human suffering, let's use this as a teaching moment. We have to stop screwing up the world so badly. Human activity is melting glaciers, which will change the world and all of its plants, animals, and humans in more ways than we can even imagine. And those changes won't be for the better. Some humans think they own this world. These people are not just idiots. They're not just suicidal. They are the mass murderers of future generations. They may not intend to commit these crimes, but their short-sightedness, their greed, arrogance, and narcissism will damage and possibly doom untold millions, billions of animals and humans in the future. Humans don't own this world. We're just guests. I don't know who or what will come after we're gone, but if we keep screwing things up, our time will pass sooner rather than later. We're all understandably afraid of the coronavirus because of the way it can ravage our bodies and kill us. But for the Earth, humans are the coronavirus. We're polluting her water, poisoning her air, And we're literally burning her up, just like the coronavirus burns us up. Look, I don't pretend to be a sage, nothing close to it, but I have eyes. I've been around long enough to remember monarch butterflies and how other animals used to thrive and are now practically gone. Our bees are dying, and they pollinate our plants so the plants can produce food. If we have no bees, you'd better figure out how to digest dirt. Passenger pigeons and so many other species are gone. Humans are wiping out species at an unprecedented rate. Each of those species is a piece in the puzzle of life, and there are consequences for each piece that is destroyed. Humans are great at finding scapegoats. In just one example, shark has fought to protect cormorants from government slaughters. Cormorants are blamed for eating fish by the people who want to eat the fish instead. Cormorants do eat fish, but the cormorants were here before the people. People put up dams in the West which destroy salmon by the hundreds of millions. And then, because those people don't want to blame the dams or themselves or pollution or overfishing, they blame the cormorants or sea lions or gulls or terns, all of whom were here eons before the arrival of humans. Some people claim there are too many deer, but never once have I been stuck in traffic because of deer. The deer aren't polluting the air or the water. Like the other animals, the deer were here long before the humans. Our problem isn't the deer. You know, there's another side of coronavirus that's been almost completely ignored. The virus has temporarily stopped the cruelty of rodeos. They're canceled. And pigeon shoots. And other canned hunts. And cockfighting. And wars. There's the silver lining to this odyssey. You think the coronavirus is bad? And it is. But I don't think we've seen anything yet. I think the ongoing human campaign of destruction against this planet and all life on it has only begun to pay its negative dividends. We'd better start opening our eyes and open our hearts and minds. Humans had better start looking farther than the end of our own nose. We need to start electing people who have brains and a moral code. We need to begin the very long process of trying to make things right with the only planet that we may ever call home. I'm Steve Hindy for Showing Animals Respect and Kindness.
Thank you for watching. Please like and share this video. You can subscribe to our channel to see more of our investigations and learn what you can do to help Shark help animals. To support Shark directly and gain access to exclusive content, consider sponsoring us on Patreon.